here so that we can have it. But on Friday, we had an amazing call. It was a little different, had a lot of people give their testimonials about these calls, guys. And real quick, before we even go ahead and get started, right, what I want to make sure we do is let's make sure we go on the chats. Let's let everybody know that we're live. I have some important announcements and some guidance that I'm going to run you guys through here on this call goes hand in hand with the message, with the topic that we're going to go over here today. And I want to make sure nobody misses this call. So if it's on Trading Akashics chat, if it's on an iTransform Worldwide, if it's wherever, if all 19 of us, right, can go ahead and drop a message on our team chat saying we are live, right, I promise you, right, there's going to be one person. All we need is just one more person that can hop on here and receive today's message, receive today's word, receive today's training, and everything can change for them. I'm always looking for that one more person, right? Just like God left the 99 and he went to go find the one. There's one out there right now on the chats that can absolutely come on here and change their life just by a decision, right? I know what these calls have done. We've seen, all of us, what the work of God has been doing here. It's not me. It's not the guest speakers. It's not anybody but God just working through Wake Up and Ascend. So I know we have some good stuff here for today. Make sure you have a notebook and pen. This is recorded, so you can go back to it. But just so we have a little bit of context and a little bit of recap, I'm going to go over a couple of the trainings that we did. Right, last Tuesday, we had a special guest, Matthew Thayer, come on here, delivered a beautiful message, delivered a great call. And then we talked about, right, on Wednesday, we talked about the pitch to going 1K in 72 hours. Right? That was the message. That was the topic that we were talking about on Wednesday. On Thursday, we talked about, what did we talk about on Thursday? I know Thursday was a really good call. I forgot the topic, but we talked about, I think it was, beast mode recruiting. There we go. We talked about beast mode recruiting on Thursday. I know it was a really good call. And so we talked about the pitch to go 1K. We talked about how to become a beast mode recruiter. And then now, right, now that you got both, you got the pitch, you got the beast mode recruitment. If you're new on here today, make sure you get the recordings. They are already up. On Friday, we did testimonials, right? So we kind of opened it up and had everybody speak about things that they've learned on these calls and what they're applying, right, in their business and their day-to-day life. Because these calls, guys, it's not just for the business, obviously, right? Or we're here to help you grow your business. But if you apply it in your day-to-day life, I mean, we've had very powerful calls about faith, about belief, about, how to view, right, life from God's point of view and not from your point of view. I mean, I'm talking about powerful calls that can completely change your life if you're understanding it and you're doing it, right? So I'm excited to be here with you guys today. If you guys have been enjoying Wake Up and Ascend calls, right, every single morning, drop some 7s on the chat or drop some fire emojis, right? Whatever you feel like dropping on the chat. Let's bring some energy on here before we go ahead and start. If you guys have been learning, if you guys have been enjoying, right, the Wake Up and Ascend calls that we've been able to have here on every single morning. All right, I see the fire. Let's get everybody, get on the chats, get on the Zoom chat, put some fire emojis, put some 777s, light up the chat box, and let everybody know on Telegram that we are starting here, so nobody misses out on today's topic. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. We're gonna talk about here today, guys, is your massive launch. That's a topic for today. It's about your massive launch. It's a massive launch. That's what it is, right? That's going to be the topic for today. And I'm going to go over a couple of things here with you guys, right? But in this massive launch, there's like two things that I'm going to go over a lot of stuff here. And I want to make sure everybody gets it. But guys, I want you to understand that today, like, think of today as the very first day of your massive launch. I'll just start off with the announcements to really get everybody hyped and everybody cooked up, because you guys need to know, right, the resources and the tools that we have for you, right, to help you guys have a massive launch, right? You guys need to know what's available for you guys to be able to launch massively, right? And I'm going to talk about all the things that you need to have for you to have a successful launch. But here are the announcements. Here is something that I've been cooking up for the week. So I know you guys are going to get excited for it. Starting today, ladies and gentlemen, starting today, we're going to do a 3-day opportunity live trading call, right? On Tuesday. So today, it's going to be me and Asia. So me and Asia are going to do at 8 p.m. Eastern, where you can plug in your prospects. You can plug in everybody, right? All the prospects you've been speaking to. It's going to be mostly on Akashics, right? It's going to be mostly on Akashics. We may open it up a little bit to some products, but the main focus of it is going to really be Akashics, okay? So we're going to show the Akashics platform, and then Asia is going to do some live trading right after to have all the prospects get paid and have them see some real results on the call. Tomorrow, I'm cooking up a call. It's not confirmed yet with Joel Arias, right? So Joel's going to be doing some live trading, and we're going to have the last call. So think of it as like a free trial. Prospects can hop on here and they can actually see the information. They can see the presentation. They can see live trading, a little preview of what it looks like. And on Thursday, we're going to finalize it with Matthew Thayer and myself. I should be flying on Thursday. So if it's not me, right, I'm just letting you guys know ahead. I'll find somebody to fill me in to be able to present, right, the information. But Matthew will be doing some live trading, right? So we're going to have a strong 3-day week, guys, to really get August in momentum, to really help you guys massively launch, to help you guys go to the next level and really build your business and show people what we have in Akashics. So real quick, guys, I want to see in the chat box who here, right? Some of you guys maybe have been utilizing Akashics, our trading platform. If you guys have been utilizing it and making money and learning, drop some money signs and money bags on the chat box real quick, because we got to bring some energy here real quick. If you want me to hype you up, you got to hype me up. You get what I'm saying? If you want me to give you some energy for the day, you got to give me some energy for the day. So if you've made some money with Akashics, drop some money signs on the Zoom chat box right here, guys. If you guys have been able to make some money with Akashics, if you guys have been making money with Anna, if you guys have been making money with Asia, if you guys have been making money with Matthew, right? Whatever it is, however it flows, if you guys have been making money, or with myself, whoever it is, drop some money bags on the chat box. And we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So today's call, guys, is called Massive Launch, right? That's what today's call is going to be about. And guys, when you think about the word launch, right, I want you to just think about to yourself, what do you guys think about, right? Like, what do you guys think about when you guys hear a massive launch? Because I'm going to tell you guys what's necessary for you guys to have in order for you to have a massive launch. Listen, forget about, you know, when you started in this business, forget about when you first got started, forget about, you know, when you got for that first excitement. You know, today's the day that you really launch your business. We talked about the pitch, we talked about how to become a beast mode recruiter, and now we're closing out before we go into a new topic tomorrow, right? Because these past three calls go together, but today's the day that you're going to make the decision to go and have a massive launch right here in My Daily Choice with all the different brands that we have. Right. So what you need to know is to have a massive launch, you need to know this. Number one is you need to believe much bigger and much faster than what you're believing for right now. We're going to go into it, but I need you to write that down and I need you to understand it. And after this call, I need you to start applying it. You need to believe much bigger and much faster than what you're believing for right now. Right. So whatever you're believing for, right, you got to believe much bigger and much faster. Right. Because once you do, you're going to put the action, you're going to put in the work. Right. And our goal here to have a massive launch, it's not just to be active, right, but it's to be productive. That's the goal. Right. It's not just to be active. It's not just to be on the chat box. It's to be productive. And when it comes down to your launch, ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to your very first day. And today's your first day, guys. Today's day one, right? Not what you've done since you first got started. No, it's when you make that decision to really make that massive launch. So real quick, before we go ahead and crank, right? Go ahead and if you're ready to have a massive launch in My Daily Choice, right? Drop some 777s, right? Because number 7 is the number of perfection. Perfection just means completion. That's what perfection means. So if you're ready to have a massive launch, right, and go ahead and launch your business here with My Daily Choice. Drop some sevens on the chat because we're going to really light up this call. We're going to go into this week with energy. We're going to go into this week being fired up. We're going to go into this week, right, with more importantly, direction. Right, everybody. I talk to this to everybody. We all have the same comp plan. We all have the same products. We all have the same educators. We all have the same academy. The only difference on having a successful massive launch is just you guys. It's just you, ladies and gentlemen. Right, you're the X factor. And in order for you to have a powerful launch, you need to understand two things. The first one is success loves speed. Right? That's the first thing you need to understand. If you want to have a powerful, massive launch, write that down. Powerful, massive launch. You got to understand that success loves speed, right? Speed, guess what it does? It gives you an accelerated burst, right? That's the first thing. Success that loves speed. What does speed do with success? It gives you an accelerated burst. The second one is it gives you velocity, right? You now have, power going into your presentations, into your week. It gives you velocity. Number three is it gives you momentum, right? It gives you momentum. Every single person that is joining this business, or not even in this business, everything in life, what you're looking for is momentum. If you stay slow, you won't have momentum. And the second one is going to really tie all this in together, right? But you got to understand that success loves speed. What does speed gives you? It gives you an accelerated burst. It gives you velocity, and it also creates momentum. Listen, when momentum comes, everything is great. Everything's amazing, but you got to be the person that creates the momentum in every area of your life. Today, we're talking about launching your business, creating residual income, creating passive income. I'll tell you this right now. Selling products and making money trading becomes a lot easier when you have residual income coming in. And that's facts, right? So it becomes a lot easier, guys, when you have momentum. Write that down. That's number, right? You have accelerated burst, velocity, momentum. Number four is everything becomes easier, right? When you launch with speed, when you now have momentum on your favor. When you have momentum, guys, right? Everything is good. Everything is great. Why? Because you got to first create the momentum, and it takes speed, right? It takes all in. It takes being productive. It takes massive action, guys. It takes, right, sacrificing certain things, sacrificing being with friends, sacrificing things that are not adding to what you're doing right now, right? It takes, right, maybe if it's, hanging out with your husband, maybe if it's hanging out with your wife, maybe if it's hanging out with your children, maybe if it's on, cutting down on some dates, whatever it is. These are just examples. But if you want to create momentum, it's an all in or all out method, right? Momentum requires you to be all in. If you're not all in, right, once you have the momentum, now the momentum is carrying it on yourself. If it's in your faith, if it's in your business, if it's in your health, right? It's like when when you're on a, let's say like an exercise diet or health diet, at first it's a little rough. You got to cut off everything, right? Like if you want to have the body that you want, right, you got to first create the momentum for it. It's not going to be one day from another, but you're going to have to eat certain foods. You're going to have to cut off certain foods, right? You're going to have to cut off friend time, and you're going to have to start exercising, right? Because if you want that body, if you want to, cut your gut, if you want to have some muscles, right, you got to create the momentum for it, right? At first, it's going to burn when you do your first couple of reps. When you do your first couple of sprints, it's going to hurt, right? It's not going to feel good, but you're creating the momentum for your health. You're creating the momentum, right, for the success that you want to have. So it requires speed. It requires you cutting off any other option and going all in, right? So when you have accelerated burst, that's what you do. You have accelerated burst. Now you have velocity. So now you're running out of pace. Now you've created momentum, right? And when momentum comes, it feels great. And everything becomes easier. Number four, that's what it is. Everything becomes easier, right? Now it's easier. And then number four is it creates excitement. When you have momentum, things are easier. Guess what? Everybody's excited. Everybody's excited. It creates results, right? That's another one. It creates results. People are making money. When you're in momentum, everybody's making money, but you got to be the first one. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit here on this call. You got to be the first one that makes that commitment. You got to be the momentum creator. Nobody's going to create the momentum for you. You got to create the momentum for your life, right? That's what's going to create excitement. When you're in momentum, it becomes easier, but it also, right, it gets you excited. That gives you results. It creates results in your life. It creates the body you want. It creates the trading you want. It creates the residual income that you want, right? And then the next one, when you have accelerated burst, when you have velocity, when you have momentum, it becomes easier, right? It creates excitement, right? Now results are being created. And guess what that does, guys? That then builds stories, right? Facts tell, stories sell, right? If you want to have a successful launch, you got to focus up on, guess what? Building stories, guys. That's what momentum does. But you got to first make the commitment. You got to first decide, cutting off every other option, right? And you got to say, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to have an accelerated burst. So I'm going to make the decision to have an accelerated burst right now. So guess what? That's doing more than what you usually do right now. So you gotta do more in this accelerated burst. It needs to be an all-in decision. It needs to be no other distractions. It needs to be cutting off all other options, right? And that's how you're going to lead yourself to building stories, right, through you and your organization. But first, you got to create your own story. You got to create your own momentum. You got to create the momentum in your life that's going to create the story in your life. Does that make sense? Right? To help you guys also build other stories all around you, right? So that's the first one. Success loves speed. The second one, in your massive launch, you got to also understand that success also loves patience. Write that down. That's number 2 in your launch, right? There's 2 components. You got to understand success loves speed, right? So it's an all-in action. And then number 2 is success also loves patience. It loves patience. Now, don't get this twisted. Don't get this, right? I'm confused. Patience doesn't mean that you move slow, right? It just means that you move correctly. That's all patience is. When you move correctly, right? Guess what? The things that you are now, the things that you're chasing are now chasing you, right? So now that you're moving correctly with patience, you're moving with gratitude, you're moving with love, you're moving with God, right? I don't move unless it's with God, right? Since now you're moving correctly, right? Guess what? The things that you used to chase, the things that you used to desire are now chasing you because you moved with speed and you moved with patience. That's now moving correctly. Now, if you don't move with patience, you're moving with impatience. You're moving with wanting things right now. You're moving with frustration. You're moving with anger. You're moving with the emotions of envy. Like, those are all things that can come up in your mind when you're not patient, right? And when you're patient, you're now moving correctly. And when you move correctly, the things that you always chased, you wanted to chase super affiliate, you wanted to chase 1K, you wanted to chase your dream car, you wanted to chase what you wanted to bring about in your life. Now those things are chasing you because you're doing what's necessary for success. That's the hack for success, guys. Moving with speed, right? And moving with patience. You got to have both. You can't just be patient and move slow. Make sense? You can't move fast, but move with impatience. You got to have both components in your launch, guys. And I can't go into the next parts unless you understand that. I hope that was some good stuff for you guys, because it's what's necessary for the success. Success needs both. It needs fast, it needs speed, and it requires patience of you. So that way you can move correctly. You can move in love. You can move in gratitude, right? Impatience is just really moving in gratitude, and it's moving in love. That's what it really boils down to, right? When you're launching your business. So here are 2 things that you also got to do when you're, right, having this massive launch, guys. Here's the thing. You got to set a first week goal. So now, right, now that you know, you got to move with speed, you got to move with patience, right? You got to set down a goal for your first week. So that's why we're setting up these calls, guys, that we're going to be having with Asia, Joel, and Matt. I have to reach out and confirm with Joel and Matt, but today's already confirmed. Me and Asia are going to do 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, right? You're going to have a call set up for tomorrow with some live trading. You're going to have a call set up for Thursday, right? So now you got to set down that first week goal. What do you want? Remember, this is not an average goal. This is an accelerated burst goal. This is, you're doing an accelerated burst in a week, right? Because now you're creating new habits. Now you're creating new movements. Now you're creating new routines, right? You're shedding your old away. You're doing what's required more of you. That's going to create the momentum. You're doing what's necessary for success. So now you're no longer your old self. Like, that's what it is. You're creating new habits, new multitude of habits that are now creating new success in your life. Because if, hey, what you were doing wasn't really working, you gotta create that accelerated burst that creates velocity. Then that creates momentum. That creates, guess what? Everything becoming easier. That's what creates excitement. When everybody's in momentum, everybody's excited, but you got to get yourself in that accelerated burst now and do it so it creates the momentum in your life, right? So you got to set that first week goal. What's that first week goal? Now that I'm teaching you guys how to massively launch your business, what's that first week goal? If it's, maybe it's 5K for the first week, or maybe it's like, hey, I'm going to go 1K for this first week, whatever it is, right? So technically, this is going to run all the way up until Tuesday, right? So you need to set the goal for next Tuesday that really lands. Let me see. Next Tuesday is the 29th. So if all 22, 23, 24 of us, right, sets the goal, we'll have 22 brand new 1Ks. Right? I'm going to teach you the action steps. I'm going to teach you the massive launch, but these are things you guys got to know right now for you to massively launch your business. You got to set that first week goal, because guess what? Now that you set that first week goal and you understand that success loves speed and success loves patience, right? It also loves patience. In this first week, guys, guess what? You're now creating a new you. You're creating a new version of yourself. You're creating a new work ethic. You're creating a new belief system. You're creating all these new things, right? God in Jeremiah said, God's going to do a new thing in your life. This is the new thing you got on this call. This is a new thing God is doing in your life for you to massively launch your business, right? So now that you've created the rhythm, write that down. You're creating a rhythm within this first week. You're now creating this rhythm. There's a rhythm that's being in place. Now, that rhythm, you got to keep it for 18 months, right? Because if you do it for 18 months, I promise you, not only will you guys build the stories, not only will there be success, not only will there be excitement, not only will there be results, right? You'll be in a whole different place. The things that you've always wanted to chase are now chasing you. They're already in your life for 18 months because you've created the rhythm for that, right? In an 18-month period. But the first week is very essential, right? What did I say, guys? I said everything comes down to really with your first day of your launch. That's really what it comes down to, right? So in your launch, guys, this is it right here. Today's day one. It all comes down to making that decision, is deciding, hey, this is my day one launch. Because guess what? Your launch, your business needs to be predictable, right? So you got to write down what's going to be your goal, right, for your first 7 days. And then what's going to be your goal for the next 18 months, right? 18 months can be super affiliate. It can be 500K affiliate. It can be 250K affiliate. It can be a 100K affiliate, right? So you need to determine those two goals. What's your first week goal? And what's your 18-month goal, right? The first one is really the most important because now you're creating the rhythm for the 18-month goal. And then when you do that, you understand that your business it needs to be predictable, right? You can't just throw mud on the wall and expect it to stick, right? Like your business, if you go to the top businesses around the world, Starbucks, right? If you go to, sales companies, insurance companies, right? Top insurance companies, Apple, whatever top companies out there, right? Their business is predictable. They know where they're going to be in a year, right? They know where they're going to be in 2 years through the numbers, through the sales that they're getting. Well, it's the same thing with you guys. You got to have that big boy mentality. You got to have that big boss mentality. You got to have that champion mentality like these guys do. So you got to understand their business is predictable because they know how many sales they're going to do. They know where they're going to be. They know, right? They're not just throwing mud on the wall and expecting it to stick and say, hey, we're going to do 2 billion in the next year without having any type of structure. So this first week is so key because now you're creating that structure. You're creating that rhythm, right? These companies know what they're going to do in the next 2 years, in the next year. So you got to know in your mind where you're going. And the first week is creating that rhythm. Does that make sense? Drop some ones in the chat if that makes sense. I hope that's making sense for everybody. need to make sure y'all here with me. Drop some ones on the chat if this is making sense for every single one of you guys here. Some 111s on the chat. And now we're gonna talk about day one, right? Today's day one. We have our call with Asia, right? We talked about the pitch. We talked about becoming a beast mode recruiter. Well, guess what? Today is gonna take more, right? This first week is you're gonna have to do more than what you usually do. You're gonna have to talk to more people than who you usually talk to. You're gonna have to reach out, right? I talked about you got to go out there and ask ASK in order for you to get GET. If you don't go to the people, if you don't prospect, if you don't make the calls, if you don't send, right? I gave you guys the three questions, right? Question number one was what? Question number one was, hey, I have a very important question for you. It's 9/11. Number two is, what's your goal for the end of 2023? Is it your health? Is it to make more money, or is it to save more money, right? And then number three, you're calling them saying, hey, I'm franchising my online business, right? We're going to have a call tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. You got to be on here, right? So now, guess what? You have the pitch. You have how to become a beast mode recruiter, what it takes to become a beast mode recruiter. And now you're launching your business. This is day one. So guess what? Day one on tonight's call, everybody needs to have the goal. Everybody needs to aim to have 15 to 30 prospects on this call. I want you to think of it like this, right? If a business opens up their business, a franchise opens up their business, they have their grand opening. So they cut the ribbons, right? And then they have everybody check it out. Or what does a restaurant do when they open up? They have a warm welcoming, right? So a warm welcoming party. So they invite everybody they know, their friends, their family, their neighbors, everything, to check out the restaurant, because they know that the food isn't just good enough. The employees isn't just good enough. They got to get people there, right? They got to get people there to the restaurant. They got to get people to the ribbon ceremony thing that they're opening up their business. They got to get people to see their business, right? Because they know that some people will come and they'll love it and they'll share it with others. They'll have their loyal customers. They know that some friends will show up. They may not like the food and they'll never come back, right? But they got to do it. They got to get people there first, right? So guess what? This is your red ribbon ceremony. This is your soft opening, right, for your business tonight. Forget about the day that you started. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, this is your first movers advantage call. Write that down. It's your first movers advantage call, right? This is what you're going to tell people. Like, you're the first one that I'm showing this to. I'm launching. Guess what? I'm launching my online business. I'm launching the biggest business I've ever done. You're the first one that's going to actually be seeing this. And I want to see if you're qualified to see this. I mean, if you're qualified to do this. Tonight, you're going to be able to see it for the very first time. And now you're having the mentality, you're having the launch of like a $1 billion business, right? And you can use whatever method you want to use, right? But you need to understand that you're not going to win big if you don't have that conviction. Just like how I'm talking right now, just like how I speak to prospects, you got to have that conviction in you. It doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it. It's if people feel the energy, if people feel the excitement, right? If people, see the momentum in you, they're going to be like, that's something I want to do. People follow people that know where it is that they're going. That's what people want to follow. They want to follow a Annette. They want to follow an Evie's. They want to follow a Joseph that knows where they're going. It doesn't matter what you say, but they see that you're convicted. You will win big if you're convicted, right? You want to launch something, right? And have this mentality. You got to have this mentality. Day one, you got to understand your goal here is to have 15 to 30 people on the call tonight. No excuses, right? You want to launch something big, you got to have that mentality. You got to also have those expectations, right? People don't just join something to join something. Like you want to make sure that you're a launcher. All the big companies in the world, they launch, right? If you look at all the big companies, Apple, they launch their products, right? If you look at all the big companies, like, let's say, I don't know, all the big companies that you see the commercials they're in, they launch their products. They're always launching. So you don't want to just be somebody that joins. You want to be a launcher, right? So you got to have that mentality today. 15 to 30 people you're going to have on the 8 p.m., right, prospect call, opportunity call that me and Asia are doing, right? Then here's how you continue the launch, right? So this is day one. Day 2 is tomorrow. We're going to have a call. Most likely it's going to be with Joel, right? And this is what we're going to do. The next call, your goal is to have another 15 to 30 brand new people. But here's the secret, guys. Your goal is to continue to do it, have another 15 to 30 brand new people on this call. So guess what? It's going to require you to have a massive list. If you want a massive launch, you got to have a massive list, right? You can't have Pepito, Tiffany, right, and Broke Bob on your list and expect you to have a massive business. No, you got to have that massive list. And then your goal for tomorrow is to have another 15 to 30 people on tomorrow's call. But here's the thing, right? Here's the secret. The people that were on tonight's call, those 15 to 30 people, if they get started or they don't get started, it doesn't matter, right? Maybe some people are looking for the money. Maybe some people get started on spot. Maybe some people are going to say, hey, Anthony, this is not ready for me. It's okay. Some will, some won't. So what next? That's the mentality you need to have. But with everybody that got on the call, if they tell you I'm all in, if they tell you I don't really have the money, guess what? The fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to put them in your planner. We've done the planner calls, right? And then you're going to make sure that you find out a date that they find the money, right? But that's not the training for today. But the third one is, hey, I'm not ready. This is not ready for me. That's fine. That's cool. We understand that if you open up a restaurant and they don't like the food, they're not going to come back. The restaurant's not going to, the restaurant owner is not going to shut down the business because one person didn't like the food. You get what I'm saying? It's a numbers game. You got to sort through the numbers. Guys, this is key stuff right here. This is super, super important. But here's the key thing. You got to have each person, the 15 to 30 people that were on here tonight. Remember, it's a decision. It's having that accelerated burst to have a massive launch. These 15 to 30 people that were on today, you're going to have them invite 10 people onto tomorrow's call. If they get started, if they don't get started, you're going to say, who do you know? Who do you know that would like to make money from their phone? Now that you've seen this, if they're all in, if they're all in but don't have the money, or if they don't get started, right? Doesn't matter. Your goal is that person, each person that was on tonight's call, those 15 to 20 people, you guys want to launch big, accelerated burst, velocity, success, love, speed. This is what it takes. What you're going to do is those 15 to 30 people, you're going to have them invite 10 people each, 5 to 10. Doesn't matter. 5 to 10 people. Who do you know? Who are 5 people that you know that would love to make more money in 2023, right? I want you to connect them with me because I want them to hop on and see some live trading tomorrow. Boom, right? That's all you got to do. I want, you now are going through their network, even if they don't get started, even if they don't have the money, you're still launching your business. You're still thinking like an Apple. You're still thinking like a Chili's. You're still thinking like $1 billion company, and you're going through people's network. You're expanding your business. Your business needs to be open 24/7, right? Then the next call is Thursday. You got to have another brand new 15 to 30 people. Guess what? You've already exposed 90 people yourself in a 3-day period. If you go 1 out of 10, that's 9 brand new people in your business. You're a 1K. That's it. That's it. Now, if you want to launch bigger and faster, you're going to have those people that, the 15, 30 people that were on today, the 15, 30 people that were on, tomorrow, you're going to get them to invite 10 brand new people if they get started or they don't get started, right? You're in launch mode. You have the launch mode mentality right now. Success, love, speed. I got to get people to see my business. I got to get people to see what I'm doing. I got to believe much bigger, much faster. I got to have the faith upon God, right? All the things that we talked about in Wake Up and Ascend, right? You are now getting those 15 to 30 people that hopped on today. You're getting them to invite for tomorrow's call, right? Hey, who are 5 to 10 people? Hey, well, guess what? Imagine if you can even make $40 per person that gets started with you. Who are 5 people, right? That you know, who are 5 people that you know that would absolutely love to go ahead and make money through their phone, that would absolutely love, right, to be able to make more money in 2023. I want you to connect me with them and have them hop on the Zoom. And if they're open, they're open. And hey, guess what? If you go by the 1 to 10 rule, if you get if you got 90 people in 3 days, they all invite 10, you've already exposed, right, well over 1,000 people in a 3-day period. That's massively launching, guys. That's the mentality that you need to have. So we're going to have, right, boom, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. We'll see if we do Friday. Thursday, I know I'm going to ask Matt to do Thursday. I'm going to ask Joel to do tomorrow. Me and Asia's already confirmed for tonight. So all of you guys should have the goal to have 15 to 30 people on tonight's call, right? And guess what? People, right? They are gonna look at you crazy, right? They're like, you have to look at yourself crazy, because guess what? That's because you have done all that you can do, right? You have never, before this, you have never gone all out. This is what it looks like to go all out. Guys, it's not the products, it's not the comp plan. It's about what you did day one, and keep this up for 2 weeks straight to close out August. Keep this up every single day, right? We're going to be having the calls, right? And then also, this doesn't even count. This is not even including the one-on-ones, the three-way calls with your mentor, right? This is just I'm just talking about massively launching your business with the resources and tools, but this is not even including, these numbers are not even including if you do a one-on-one right after this call, you're fired up, you're excited, right? You're ready to create momentum. Boom, you're like, hey, I'm going to hop on a one-on-one and get somebody started. What you're doing right here, guys, is you're showing yourself that you're an example, but you're also showing the people on your team. If you have one person or 5 people, right? What you're doing is showing them an example, right? You're showing them an example. And then guess what? By showing them an example, then they're going to go out and start doing the same exact thing. And that's duplication. Write that down. That's leadership duplication. But you got to first be the example, right? Because people are not going to do what you tell them to do. People are going to follow your footsteps. People are going to look at Ibis. They're going to look at Claudia. They're going to look at Isaac. They're going to look at Marianne. They're going to look at Natalie. They're going to look at Orta. They're going to look at Sophia. And they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, I want to follow them, because they don't just talk it, but they walk it. Right? They have integrity. They don't just say something, but they actually do it, right? That's integrity. So by you being the example, right? The people, and even if it's one person, even if it's 2 people, it doesn't matter, right? They're going to start doing the same exact thing. Now you've created momentum. Now it's became easier. Now everybody's excited. Now everybody's creating results. Now everybody's building stories. Boom. You've now successfully launched a massive business. Guys, launching a massive business, you got to put it like this. It's all about compressing time frames. That's all it is. Every time I'm fired up right now. I have the feeling of when I was brand new to this industry, because this is what I did, right? This is exactly what I was doing every single day. Yesterday, I enrolled 4 brand new people. Look at the leaderboard. I think I'm in top 10, right? Because when you hear launch, when you get yourself in that mentality, right? Guess what? You now are compressing time frames. This is the work you got to put in. You got to put forth the action. You got to listen to your mentor. You got to put in the work, and don't put any excuses on why you can't do it. That needs to go. Those are limitations that we only put in our mind. The only things that we should be putting in our mind is the word of God, right? He is the God that erases, right, and stops all limitations. He is not a God of limitation, but we got to put ourselves in that mode. It takes work, guys. Write this down. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes interaction. It takes talking to people. It takes sharing the opportunity more than what you're doing right now. That's what it takes for a successful launch, right? Most people, I know this is just straight facts. Most people show the plan to 1 person per month. That's the truth. Most people show the plan to 1 person per month. To 1 person per month. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question, right? Are you going to build the future that you want with that? Are you going to build the trading account that you want with that? Are you going to build, right, the life that you desire with showing the plan to 1 person a day? The answer is no. It's not even if. Like, the answer is no, right? Are you going to build financial freedom with just showing the plan to 1 person a day? In order, right, to have financial freedom, you have to drive your own efforts. You have to make the activity turn into results. And it's not just doing it once. That's why, guys, it's a 3-day thing. We got to do a 3-day thing. The trade-off is to go to work, to do it when no one's looking, when nobody's supervising. You're the one putting in the work. You're the one doing the calls. You're the one posting. You're the one sending messages. You're the one reaching out. You're the one doing phone calls. When no one is expecting anything in you, you're doing the work. So how many presentations have you done in the last 30 days? Write that down. If it's 0, it's 0, right? right? Or how many presentations have you done since we've done Wake Up and Ascend? And now what you're going to do is you're going to start writing down how many presentations you're doing right after this call, because today's day one, right? Today's day one, right? So if you've been doing, like, think of it like this: if you've been doing one presentation, right, every week, let's say that's the answer. In the past week, I've done one presentation. Is that in alignment with your goals, right? Is that in alignment with why you started this business, right? You have to make the commitment, ladies and gentlemen. You have to make that commitment that I'm going to be all in. That commitment needs to be made today. It's a decision. It's an all in or all out, right? Like, that's the decision I got to make. The secret in this is you doing it first, because having your organization do the same exact thing, right? You're going to be able to have them see it, right? You're going to be able to have them start doing it, but you have to be the one that makes the commitment first, right? You got to make that commitment first for other people to follow, right? They got to see you do it first. The key thing here is having other people in your organization do the same exact thing that you're doing, but you got to make that commitment first. Even if you have two people, get together with them, let them know what you're about to do, let them know that, and maybe they're prospects, maybe they're not even in your team yet. You've been talking about this opportunity to them, right? But what you got to focus on is really focus on doing this for the next 7 days. Focus, right, on challenging yourself to become above average. Make the commitment to have the 15 to 30 people on tonight's call. Let's do this. I want you to drop, right, accept on the chat box. If you accept, right, the challenge, if you accept the launch to have 15 to 30 people, right, accept on the chat box here today. If you accept it, if you're ready to make the commitment to show the plan to 15 to 30 people today, tomorrow, and the next day, because this is what's going to be required of to have that successful launch, right? Accept, drop accept on the chat box, right? Because this is it. This is the plan. This is what you need to do in order for you to have the results, in order for you to decide, right, to have that life that you want. All you have to do, guys, is decide that you're going to do it. And once you decide, you're going to have extraordinary results because you deserve it. That's it, guys. You just got to believe a lot bigger, a lot faster, and it shall be done. So, the last thing, I just kind of went out there these last couple of minutes, but I want to share with you guys that I've done from the very start of my my launch, right? I mean, it's a never-ending launch. The launch never ends, right? Because guess what? My mission here, my service, is to create as many stories that I can build. So the launch never ends, right? It's a never-ending launch. But you got to first start it with your day one. You got to first make it happen with your day one. That's what it's all about. Now, here's something that can keep you in the game, not even keep you in the game. This is something that you should be doing to hold yourself accountable, right? To hold yourself accountable. Let me just go ahead and share this real quick, right? And I call it the productivity checklist, right? Productivity checklist, right? And this is accountability between you and you. The best form of accountability is not between you and your mentor, not between you and the person that you look up to, right? It's between you and you. That's the best form of accountability, because once you build that accountability, you can hold other people accountable. But you can't hold other people accountable unless you hold yourself accountable first, right? So the first productivity checklist is how many people have I prospected, right? That's the first question in the productivity checklist, right? So guess what? You got to bump the numbers up, but you got to answer this checklist at midnight before you go to sleep, right? Because this is how you're holding yourself accountable. This is the checklist that increases activity, that increases, guess what? Momentum, that increases excitement, that increases results, that increases the amount of stories that you build, right? So how many people have you prospected? Number two is how many people have you presented to? Okay, how many people have you shown the plan to? Write this down. The more people you have showing the plan, the bigger your business will be. the more people you show, the more people in your organization that are showing the plan, is the bigger your business is going to be. If you want a bigger business, you got to be presenting the plan, but also people got to see you present the plan. You got to have a protege, right? You got to have a protege that is watching you present the plan, or maybe you're the protege right now and you're utilizing this call tonight to have 15 people on, but also learning how to present, right? But if you want to have a multiplying business, if you want to have a fruitful business, right, it all goes down to, guess what? How many people are showing the plan in your organization, right? But you got to track yours first, because like I said, before you, right, have other people do it, you got to make the commitment first. How many people have you shown the plan to, right? You don't even have to be the presenter, right? So let me just correct this. How many people have you showed the plan to? That's better, okay? Because you don't even have to be the presenter right away. You can get them on the 8 p.m. call, and that's you, right, showing the plan, okay? So number 4 is, how many people have gone and started? Okay, how many people have gone and started, right? So now if you prospected, right, 20 people, and out of those 20 people, right, 15 people got on tonight's call, and out of those 15 people, right, 3 people got started. Well, guess what? It all starts in the top, guys. If you do more numbers in number 1, you'll have no more numbers in number 2. If you have more numbers in number 2, oh, I put 4, sorry guys. You'll have more numbers in number 3, right? You'll have more people getting started, but you got to track it. Whatever you track grows. So if you're not tracking your numbers, then hey, it is what it is. Number 4 is, how many people have you launched? Yesterday, I did a call and I launched 12 people, 11, 12 people, right? So my answer to this question, I got on the call, right? And I launched their business. I went over Akashic, but I launched their why, their goals, their invite, and their list. 12 people, I helped them launch their business last night. I don't know if they're on here tonight. Hopefully they are. I mean, tonight, this morning, right? But I helped them go over their whys. I helped them go over their goals. I helped them go over the invite. It's going back to the basics. How many people, right, have you launched, right? If you want a multiplying business, if you want a duplicatable business, you got to make sure people are getting launched in your organization every single day. And then number 5 is the key, right? The sauce in massively exploding your business. How many people have you registered to Miami Ascend, right? Because these calls are great. This business is great. The products are great. Our CEO is great. But these events is what helps people do 2 things. The events help people make a decision, and the events help people believe for what they're believing for. God will speak into them visions. They will see themselves actually become successful. Maybe you have somebody that's half in, half out. These events will help. I can't explain to you my experiences, but I can tell you, if you go to this event, you'll have the same experience that I've had, that had helped me be all in with this business. So if you are looking for change, if you're looking to completely change your life, if you're looking to be all in, if you're looking to be a 1%er in your trading, a 1%er in the industry of network marketing, you got to make the decision to get to Miami, right? We talk about this on every call. There's no reason. Day 1, this is your launch. It starts with getting your ticket, right? Getting your ticket to Ascend Miami, making the decision to be at Ascend Miami, right? And then the key is, how many people are you going to bring with you, right? Maybe you have 1 person right now on your team. In the next 30 days, because you're applying this right here, from the pitch to hit 1K in 72 hours, the beast mode recruitment, and now how to massively launch your business. Now you've taken those 3 components, those 3 trainings, boom, you put them together, now you're understanding it, you're taking action, you're exploding your business. Now you have 30 people, you take those 30 people to the event. I promise you, you will be making minimum $5,000 a month with the comp plan. 1,000%. 1,000%. My mentor said, out of every 100 people you take to an event, right? You take 100 people there, you'll be at 6 figures. I took 100 people to London, right? I'll never forget a London company convention. I came out of there and I hit 6 figures with our compensation plan. So it's that simple, guys. It's not hard. It's just really making the decision, right? It's like, I'm going to pull up real quick. I'll end it with this. I think this is going to encourage somebody here today. So let me pull this up for you guys. And we'll wrap up here. Let me just look for it real quick. Matthew 7:13. All right. The narrow way. Oh, wait, you guys don't see my screen. I'm sorry. Let me share my screen real quick. Matthew 7:13. I believe this is going to encourage somebody here today. Enter by the narrow gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go by in it. But narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are very few who find it. So, like really putting that into business principles, right? Obviously, this is in your faith in God, right? There's many people that, right? There's a lot of people, right? That they enter through the gate that is wide, that leads to destruction. And there are many people who go in by it, but there's very few who enter the narrow way, right? Narrow, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way that leads to life, right? And there are very few who find it. There are very few who go to God and just say, God, I'm willing to just lay my life on you, like lay my surrender everything to you, put you before anything, right? There's just very few who do it. And it's a difficult, right? Like you have to actually live it out. You have to actually cut off anything that doesn't align with God's principles, with God's will, right? If God calls you to do something, it's answering to that call. Well, it's the same thing, putting this in perspective with business principles. There are very few that find it. It's difficult. It's a decision, but it'll lead to life. It will lead you to life. It will lead you to super affiliate. It's narrow. Not everybody's willing to go after it. But if you study Matthew 7:13, let it speak to you. It's going to help you make that decision that that's why there's the rich and wealthy, that's the 5%, and the 95%ers are broke or poor, right? Because the rich and wealthy are like, they're making the decision that's going to lead them to life. They're making the decision that most people aren't willing to make, right? They're making the decision that I'm going to go through the narrow road that only few find it, only few are willing to do it, right? So it's very important that after this call, it's like you got to make that decision that you're going to be you're going to be willing to do it, and you're going to make that decision to be that part of few, right? Because if you look at the word few, it's not a lot, it's a little bit, it's not many, right? So it's probably like 5 people out of 10,000 people, right? You got to make the decision. It's right there. It's biblical. It's Matthew 7:13. That's what you should take home today and say, I'm ready to make that decision to be all in and to really rock and roll. But I know I went over some time today, so I don't want to go too much over. But I appreciate you guys hopping on. We're going to go ahead and write down our goals, right? So we're still believing for 10K in August. Remember, writing down the goal is just about becoming your goal. That's all it is. It's about becoming your goal. It's about, you seeing yourself as a 10K. And hey, if 10K, if the 31st comes, you hit 10K, amazing, we celebrate you, but the goal never changes, right? It's about you becoming that 10K right now. You putting it in your mind, visualizing it, right? It's about the process of you becoming that 10K and putting it into, right, fruition is you putting it out there and saying, I'm a 10K. So we're going to write down the goal for 10K. And I guarantee you, if you do day 1, day 2, day 3, the 7-week, right, process of massively launching your business, creating the new routine, creating the habits, right? That's what's going to help you accomplish your success and your rank for 10K here in August. So we're going to go ahead and put it. Marianne and Anna are going to drop it on the chat box on how to write down your goal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a 10K affiliate in MDC by August 31st, 2023. Thank you, God. I believe it's done. So I'm going to make Marianne host real quick, and she is going to drop this video for you guys. And this is what we're going to do. If you're new here, right, this is important that you guys stay on. You don't leave, you stay on. this is what you're going to do. You're going to write down the goal 10 times. This is so important. If you look at the word goal, it stands for go out and live. That means you got to go out and live this. You got to go out and live this goal. You got to become this goal right now. It's day one. Like, that's what a goal is. It's not about you hitting the goal. It's all about the process of you becoming that goal, of you knowing that that goal's already done. I'm walking it out as if it's done. Boom, that's it, right? So that's the message for today. We're going to write this goal down 10 times. Let me look at the chat box. I haven't even looked at it. Boom. All right. So we're going to write this down 10 times over and over and over again. 10 times. We're going to put this in for about 5 minutes. We're going to write it down 10 times and we're going to go straight into the prayer and we'll get out of here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the call. So we're going to play this video and we're going to rock and roll, guys. 10 times, 10 times. Do not leave. This is important. Get the goals down, write it down 10 times. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a 10K affiliate in MDC by August 31st, 2023. Thank you, God. I believe it's done.
I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis.
10 times, guys. 10 times.
I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis.
Alrighty, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up with a prayer, and then we're out of here, guys. But I hope everybody definitely got some good stuff today. Remember, we got our 8 p.m. call with Asia and myself. She's going to do some live trading. I'm going to be showing the business. I'm going to be working for Wednesday. We are going to have for sure Wednesday and Thursday as well. I just need to get them confirmed, but we will have it. And let's have a beautiful day. Hope you guys enjoyed today's call. Let's wrap up with a prayer. I'll go ahead and pray and we can get out of here. And let's go. Father God, thank you that, we are here today, Lord, gathering on the Zoom, Lord, on the Zoom. And just, I pray that you work through each and every single one of the leaders here to help them really launch this business, Lord, but give them the courage, give them the strength, give them the excitement to launch this business, not for anything else, but for you, Lord, for your glory, Lord, for what you're doing right here. I mean, we heard amazing testimonials this past Friday, and we just are so grateful and so thankful that you're doing a work in us, Lord. It's the work in us that shows the outward reflection, Lord. And may we walk this walk with you, Lord, throughout every single moment, and know that you're near us, you're beside us, you're right next to us, Lord, and we can always call out on your name, Lord, and that you're right there. You're right there every single time. You never fail, Lord. You're always working. And thank you for this call, Lord, to give people clarity, direction, guidance that I know You know, this business is literally like biblical principles, Lord, that we can apply into our faith, but we can also apply into our business. And I pray that you help everybody make that narrow decision, Lord, to be all in. I know I've seen it work over and over, Lord, where people first put you first and then make the decision to be all in. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's not even something I haven't seen. I've seen it happen. It's proven. I've seen it. I've seen it over and over. I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in the lives of others, Lord. And if you did it for us, you can do it for them, Lord. So I pray for that. You give them the courage coming out of this call, and let this be their day one for you, for nothing else, Lord, but for you, Lord. You're so great, Lord. And I just pray that you continue to do this work in us every single day. You keep on moving. You keep on showing up. You keep on helping us live by the Spirit, because by living with the Spirit is willing, Lord. Living by the flesh means nothing. We don't want anything of this earthly world, Lord. It's all in your kingdom, all in your kingdom. And we strive to do better and better and to live out your will, Lord. If it doesn't align with your will, may you just remove it, Lord. If it doesn't align with you, may you just remove it, and you just keep us focused on the kingdom. Keep us focused on you, Lord. May we walk as an example, Lord, onto others. When people make us see the decision, they'll think we're crazy, but they would want that life. They would desire to do good in this earth, that this world right now, it doesn't align with your will, Lord. And may we just set our affections upon you. May we just always pray to you. May we come to you. May we answer the call, Lord, because we know that you're doing an amazing work in us, and may you continue to do it. I pray for everybody's families. I pray that whoever's going through something right now, may they just continue to press forward and put their faith and their trust in you, Lord. May they bring all their battles to you, and may you fight them for them, because you never have ever failed, Lord. I always talk about this. A loss doesn't exist in your kingdom, Lord. It's all about a lesson, right? It's a lesson. When we're with you, Lord, we never lose. We never lose, Lord. And may that just stick to everybody that may just continue in their walk with you, may always walk with you, and just always magnify and glorify you, Lord. We're so grateful for what you're doing here in the Wake Up and Ascend calls. Thank you for today's call. Thank you for everybody that showed up, the right people showed up on this call, Lord. You are doing a work in them, and may you always be right there with them in every single side, even when they don't know it, even when they don't see it. You are right there every single time. So in Jesus' name we pray. In your name we pray. Amen, 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 Lord. I hope everybody has a great day. Drop some amens on the chat box, and let's go out there and have a blessed day. See you guys at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We in Asia, same Zoom link. We'll blast out the Zoom links, and we'll make sure everybody has the link for the call so you guys can go ahead and launch your business. Today's day one. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The recording will be up, and let's go ahead and rock and roll. Have a successful week here. See you guys tonight and tomorrow. Wake Up and Ascend. Let's go.
And it's not the end, just hold on in the